How's it going, YouTube? We are back, and we are going to talk about the Cy Young race going into the middle of June here. I think it's June 14th. Let's start with the American League. Lance Lynn at a plus 950, 7-2 with a 151 ERA, 71 and 2/3 inning pitched, 80 strikeouts, and a .93 WHIP, which is absolutely phenomenal. I believe he lost today against the Rays, but even so, he didn't pitch terribly, and he's part of the reason why the White Sox are in the position that they're in with one of the best records in baseball and first in the American League Central. They have two guys on here, Rodon as well at plus 850. They're totally kind of different pitchers. Rodon is 6-2 with a 189 ERA, 66 and 2/3 innings pitched, 97 strikeouts, and an 0.84 WHIP. So you're going to see a little bit more walks with Lance Lynn, but you're also going to get more innings out of him. He has more length to him with the 71 and 2/3 and a better ERA, so he's not giving up as many runs. I think Rodon is probably the homer that's hurting him more because his WHIP is actually lower than Lance Lynn. So that's where, they have little things here and there, but Lance Lynn is the long shot on the board here in that fifth spot, plus 950, and I think he's probably one of the better ones on the board here. And in fact, I think I would pick Lance Lynn over any of these guys in the American League right now. Shane Bieber with that plus 650 is having a down year compared to last year. 7-4, 328 ERA, 90.2 innings pitched. So he's pitched a lot, and he hasn't really missed a start yet, even though he has just hit the IL today. So he's going to miss at least two. 130 strikeouts, which is sensational, and 1.25 ERA or WHIP. Sorry, not ERA. But he's still getting the strikeouts, and he's still putting people away at a nasty rate, but he's just having trouble. He's getting hit around a little more than he was last year, and he's walking more people than he was last year. When your WHIP's at 1.25, it's kind of you're throwing a lot of pitches, and the fact that he's been able to go 90 plus innings with a WHIP that high means that he's really competing in his games, which you have to admire and you have to respect. Glasnow at a plus 600, 5-2, 266 ERA, 88 innings pitched, 123 strikeouts, and a .93 WHIP. He's been filthy as well. .266 is pretty good. I don't think it's good enough to win a Cy Young, especially when you have Gerrit Cole, Lynn, and Rodon putting up the numbers that they have. But he's pitched really good, and his development is key to the Rays' success right now, but he's just been diagnosed with right elbow inflammation, so he's looked like he's going to be able to shut down for a little bit as well. So that'll probably knock him out of the race if he misses, let's say a month, hoping that it's light inflammation, it's nothing serious, he doesn't need to have surgery or anything. Just some time off, shut down throwing, then he comes back and dominates again. But he's going to be done for a while, I believe, with that inflammation. Having a great season so far, so it kind of sucks for him to have to go and sit on the shelf for a bit. That plus 600 obviously is going to go way higher than that now that he's on that IL. Gerrit Cole, the minus 145 favorite, hasn't been pitching as well of late. His last four starts have been pretty rough, but he still has the 231 ERA, the 81 and 2/3 innings pitched, 113 strikeouts, and a .87 WHIP. His command has been sensational, not walking a lot of guys, not giving up a lot of hits. The homers bit him a little bit, that 231, but he's still one of the top dogs in the American League right now. Personally, I'm taking Lance Lynn right now with the way that he's been pitching, even though he lost today, but the way he's been pitching all season long, I think he's been the best pitcher in the American League right now. If Cole bounces back, the whole controversies with him and Spider Tack and all that, but there's a lot of guys that are using it, and when you're the best pitchers in the game, you're gonna have that microscope on you, and he didn't do himself any favors with that interview. But he's still one of the best pitchers in the league, and he still deserves to be one of the favorites. Right now, he's minus 145. I would stay away from minus 145. But still, he's one of the top dogs, and he deserves to be considered. On to the National League, where it's a little bit clearer who the top dog should be. We got Kevin Gausman sneaking his way into the top five with a plus 2100. 7-1 for the Giants, a 143 ERA, 81 and 2/3 inning pitched, 97 strikeouts and a .78 WHIP. He has his strikeouts way up this year and his walks way down. The .78, he's not getting hit around at all. The ERA is under 2. the 143. It's just ridiculous. He's having a great year. It's a career year for him. With Gausman, I believe it's, and the entire Giants team, I believe it's more like, can they keep this up? You know what I mean? On paper, these guys are, this is not a team we expected to be where they are right now. They're first in the division, by a game right now. The Dodgers won today. The Giants also won, so it's still a game. The Padres are, slowing down a bit. I kind of figured they wouldn't be, as good as people were expecting, but I definitely didn't expect the Giants to be where they are right now. I believe when the All-Star game hits, they're going to slide a little bit, but who knows? I mean, we don't know yet with these guys. And Gausman, they have a Cy Young candidate pitcher as their ace right now. If he continues to throw like this, maybe they do get a chance at the playoff spots. Yu Darvish plus 1900, 6-2 with a 2.28 ERA, 79 innings pitched, 92 strikeouts, and a 9.1 WHIP, .91. Chicago's probably scratching their head and wondering where was this Darvish when we had him. He's pitching great right now. He's he's been consistent all year round. He has a good record. He's playing for a good team, even though they are sliding. He's playing for a good team. His innings aren't as high as some of the guys in the American League, but none of them are really even close to what Bieber and Glasnow have. But they'll catch up eventually, and that Padres team, they need him to be at the top of his game, with Snell really underperforming with his ERA nearly around 5, which is what they were not hoping for. They were hoping for better than that, because Snell right now, I believe, is like their number 1 starter in terms of ERA. So Darvish has to pick up the slack a little bit. Brian Weathers and Dinelson Lamet as well. But he's pitching really good, and he's doing his thing. He's that cutter, the 4-seam, the 12-6, the slider. He has a great pitch mix. Keeps hitter off balance. A lot of strikeouts, not that many walks. The only thing with him is the home run ball every once in a while. That's the poison for a lot of pitchers these days, is the home run ball. Guys are swinging harder and harder every single year. Even though the ball's been died down a little bit, it's flying off the bat more like a balloon than it was like a dodgeball last season. But, his ERA is still down. He's not getting bit too hard. And he's competing, and they're winning games. Brandon Woodruff at a plus 850. Right now, that's probably, one of the more underrated guys. I know he's third in the voting right now, but 5-2 with a 152 ERA, 83 innings pitched, 97 strikeouts, and a .72 WHIP. Obviously, Gausman is going to be another one of those guys that's underrated, but Woodruff playing for a team that, we didn't know what they were going to be. They were a playoff team last year. The Dodgers swept them out. In a 2-game series, I believe it was, or 3-game series. Yeah, best 2 out of 3. Weird year 2020 was. But him and Corbin Burnes here plus 775. They have one of the best 1-2 punches in the league. Like up with the Dodgers and the Padres, up with pretty much anyone in the league right now. Obviously, Burnes is sliding a little bit. He's not as dominant as he was before. He still has a 2.27 ERA with 63 innings pitched. Missed time with COVID. 102 strikeouts. So in 63 innings pitched, this guy struck out 102 batters, which is absolutely ridiculous. You look at Bieber's, he's 130 Ks, but 30 more innings. It's comparable. It's very comparable, and he's still not walking that many people with a .89. He went a long stretch without walking a guy. The walks has caught up a little bit, but he's still performing at an elite level. With these two guys, who's the ace? If you're going into a wild card game, because that's likely where they're going to be at if they do make the playoffs, which one of these guys do you go to? I say right now you go Woodruff. That plus 850 and the lower ERA with the lower WHIP, he's not walking as many people, and the innings pitched to back it up. So I would go Woodruff there. What Corbin Burnes has done has been nothing but sensational. But between those two, I would take Woodruff. Obviously, with these 4, I would take probably Gausman, just because of the lower ERA and the around the same amount of innings pitched. It's just there's a tight race between those guys. If the Cy Young race was Corbin Burnes and up, there'd be a lot to debate. But then you got this monster, this alien of a person over here, Jacob deGrom, with a minus 240, 6-2, with a .56 ERA, 64 innings pitched. He missed, I believe, a start or 2 with an injury, 103 Ks, and a .53 WHIP. it's borderline impossible to get on base on this guy. .53, it's half a runner per inning. He's not walking people and he's not giving up hits. No runs, barely any runs. He's hitting like a animal as well. He should be an easy lock for Cy Young and one of the top candidates for MVP as well. If he isn't at least considered for MVP, it's a crime. It's a crime. It's an MLB crime. They will really have screwed the pooch on that one, because the season that this guy is having is like historic. And I hope that nothing comes out about him using foreign substance. Obviously, pine tar and spider tack and all that stuff has been around for ages and ages, and now we're just really starting to try to crack down on it. Whether it's better or for worse, you know, a lot of hitters want the pitchers to get as good a grip as possible. So, you know, guys like Kevin Pillar, we don't see that as often. People getting hit in the face and stuff, they want the pitchers to have as much grip as possible. So those 102 mile an hour fastballs that DeGrom throws don't hit you in the face. So, you know, that's another topic for another video, but sheer dominance in the National League for DeGrom, and really nobody's even close to what he's doing. It's one of the historic seasons, like, for real. If he can keep that ERA below 1 for an entire 162 game season, it will be like earth-shattering for the MLB. They'll have to like do all kinds of things to inflate the balls and try to keep that number back up, because we don't like to see a pitcher succeed in the MLB anymore. But it is what it is. DeGrom right now should be the Cy Young winner. I'd take Lance Lynn in the American League. But that's going to do it for this video. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe, and comment your guys' Cy Young winners for both leagues. And I'll see you guys next time.